Hello everybody, it's Precious Pioneer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Precious. I have new videos every Thursday and so I'm excited to start this video. I want to give the truth, the inside scoop into what it's like to be a small YouTuber. Right now I think I'm about around 1,500 subscribers and I've been doing YouTube for about a year and a half, seriously, kind of off and on. And so I wanted to give my personal experience and tips if you're considering starting a YouTube channel. If you're just curious what goes behind the scenes, I will give you all of the details. Starting with the first thing, I want to say that there's a lot of pressure to always keep up with content. Normally it's recommended to post at least one video a week, but you're normally just lying there thinking like, oh, you know, maybe I should create another video, maybe I need to do this. But then also there's a lot that goes into like a 10-minute video. Normally there is a lot of planning, writing, shooting, editing, after hours of editing after, and then uploading, and then keeping up with trends, styles, studying SEOs and like the marketing side of it, of making sure you're using the correct thumbnails and titles and this so your video doesn't get buried. And so there's a lot of like market or social media like analytics that we have to study, and then also like the development and creation of videos depending on the style that you're going for does take a while. Like sit down talking videos like this one, or if it has a little bit of B-roll, takes a little bit longer. But if I have a vlog, you know, that takes even longer. But it's funny because usually vlogs are a lot shorter, so vlogs can be around like 5 minutes normally average. They're a lot shorter, maybe 10 minutes or something, but in comparison you have hours and hours and hours of footage to cut down, pick out the highlighted parts to go ahead and capture and tell a story. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing about being a small YouTuber or when you're first getting started is that unfortunately people don't really watch your videos at first. Like when you're first starting out, you put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of love and passion, but honestly people will not start watching your videos until you're probably consistent, you have high quality videos, because honestly I guess it's kind of good that nobody watches your first 2 or 3 even, because they are kind of bad, especially if you've never really done videography before. If you have no context and you just are shooting on your phone, all these different elements, this is like your first time ever being exposed to videography and creating a video and telling a story. The first ones are usually pretty bad. If you don't believe me, I'll link one of mine up here. And it gives you a learning curve to be able to figure out what exactly you want to talk about on your channel, your style. A lot of people have stage presence anxiety, or they're not very good talking to a camera because it is a little bit awkward. I am literally in my room by myself, but I'm talking to you guys. And so these are the things that take a little bit of adjusting to. And so the second thing is, yeah, nobody really watches your videos, but you put in so much time and effort and it can be a little bit discouraging. So consistency is everything, you know, to be able to level up and eventually gain a following and attraction. Which brings me to point number 3. Yeah, to be a YouTuber, you actually have to like making videos. If you're doing it just because you want to get money, or if you're doing it just because it's trendy or cool or whatever, you will die out. Because the thing is though, it's very discouraging when you spend hours and hours behind the scenes creating a video and then you have like 10 views or something like this. But something that puts in perspective, like I think that sometimes we get desensitized to the numbers on the screen, because I don't know, 10 people is a decent amount of people. Like if you're in a room and you have 25 views or whatever, that is 25 people who have seen or watched your video, and that's a small crowd, you know. That's like you giving a presentation to your class, you know what I mean? And so usually some of the bigger YouTubers out here have like millions of views or whatever, and that's stadiums of like people, you know. It's like a huge stadium filled with people that everybody saw, you know. So you have to put it in perspective and appreciate every single view and follower, because sometimes you can get desensitized to these numbers. But the biggest thing for number 3 is that YouTube is a video creation platform, and if you don't like the process of creating videos, then maybe it's not for you and maybe it's not the best option, you know. Going into number 4, put in your maximum amount of effort to create videos, because the thing is though, like with time you'll learn new tricks, with time you'll learn more skill sets, and you'll constantly learn and grow. And only then, when you put out your best quality videos and you're trying to one up yourself and just do the best that you can, will you be able to see an actual following or a change in your numbers or subscribers and things like this. And if you want to actually make a living off of YouTube, you know, this is something that you could do, but that goes into consistency as well. But at the same time, I want want to be incredibly clear that I say maximum effort, not maximum amount of money into your YouTube channel. Like, I think the biggest mistake that a lot of new people do is that they will spend so much money on gear, programs, cameras, lenses, high quality microphones, all these other things. But at the end of the day, people want to see high quality content in the storytelling and what you have to say. At the end of the day, you only need a clear visual and nice audio, like those two things. And you can do that with your iPhone. Your iPhone shoots in 4K. You don't even need 4K. You can shoot in 1080, and that's perfectly fine. And then your natural microphone from your iPhone works perfectly well. My first year of shooting YouTube channels, I used my phone for everything. And you can probably tell some days, some not. Like, if it was really loud and someone was mowing the lawn outside, you could probably hear a little bit of it. But it got me through. It helped me to be patient with myself without spending any money, to edit with iMovie, which is free for my computer. Like, I did everything kind of free for a while, and I was able to gain around 800, subscribers just with my iPhone. And then once I found out that I really love video creating, and then I had a limitation, I realized that I need to upgrade to be able to produce more content. I recommend only getting high quality camera or an upgrade or something like this if you feel the limitation, you know what you're missing without it. For me, with my iPhone, like, I shot these long videos and it would take so long to airdrop it to my MacBook Air at the time, and then that would take forever to download, and then on iMovie it was so slow, and so it was slowing down my process so much that it demotivated me to create videos, because I knew that just the process of uploading it would be a pain in the butt to get through. And so in that case, I upgraded my computer, I upgraded my camera, because, well, I upgraded my camera first actually, but I knew that my old computer couldn't handle my camera if it couldn't even handle my phone footage. So I upgraded a couple of things, and it made my videos naturally a lot better, a lot clearer. But at the same time, like, I knew exactly why I did it, and then I knew at that point that I really love creating videos. And so my biggest thing for number 4 is put in your max amount of effort and creativity for creating quality content, and that does not equate to the best quality technology and all these different things. I think that those two things are misaligned. So if you want to create a YouTube channel or something like this, with your iPhone will do. If your point and shoot camera is perfectly fine. So tip number 5 about being a small YouTuber is to create videos that you enjoy making. I think it's natural, like, when you first get started, to want to mirror a lot of the other YouTubers that you've seen, whether you want to be like Peter McKinnon or like Casey Neistat with all the like vlogs, or like do really aesthetic like productivity videos like Matt D'Avella. But at the end of the day, you are not them, and they will do what they do so much better than you ever could, because it's them just being themselves. I think everybody has a unique quality that they like to share, and let that be you. Like, there are YouTubers who can completely do the same sort of storytelling and visual elements as like Matt D'Avella, but they're like way more calm, or like they're way more energetic. Whatever personality you are, stick to that. Whatever quality content that you like to make, do that. Because like for me, I realized that I wanted to be like super bubbly or whatever. My first few videos were like super over the top, because I kind of present myself this way. But in real life, I'm like way more chill. I'm way calmer. And so unless I get super passionate or something, I'm talking about something I'm really, really excited about, and normally that's the case, but sometimes it's like I just like talking to you guys and like sharing what's on my mind, or like talking about different topics and things like this. So it really depends. Like, my mood kind of changes with me, and so you're along for this journey. But my biggest thing for the number 5 is, like, as a small YouTuber, stick to your own authenticity. Don't try to mirror somebody else, because it's really obvious, and it's almost always poorly done, because it's impossible to be somebody else, and they're already famous for what they do. So you're like, and wow, whatever that like Peter McKinnon does, like, everybody knows that he does these kind of things. So when you try to imitate it poorly, it just does not work out as well for you. And so that is number 5. Moving on to number 6, the truth about being a small YouTuber is that, or just a YouTuber in general, I think it kind of forces you to face your fears. Normally, like, I never really had a problem speaking in public, so talking to a camera was actually kind of slightly more natural to me than I think that the average person. I kind of just like talking and chatting, everything, but I think I used to care, and I still care a lot about what people think, and I think that puts limitations on me or on maybe on you, because the thing is that you'll have fear of maybe posting your videos online and then your family watching them and your mom's like, what is this video, so weird, or like you're afraid that people at school who know you will be like, oh, you know, like, what are you doing, you know, like you're afraid of the judgment of others because they've seen it, or they can be critical of what you have to say, all these different things. And so honestly, that's something that comes with the territory. When you put yourself out there online, you have to just run with it, because only you have the strength and the courage to believe in yourself. Like, I don't think any of the famous YouTubers today like would have, like, if they would have believed like their friends, they wouldn't have been as successful as they are today, you know. At some point I think they all had to face that fear of like being like, well, I'm just gonna do my best and put my best effort out there and put a step forward and just create content that I really enjoy, and not pay attention to whatever what other people might think or the concerns that you may have about this. But that is something that comes with the territory, facing your fear to some degree of awkwardly talking in front of the camera, if that's something that you struggle with, or, you know, having the risk of other people watching your videos. It's kind of funny to me because you want as many people in the world to watch your videos and to love them and to really support your creative content, but at the same time it's like you don't want anybody to know that you make videos. So it's like a double-edged sword of like putting yourself out there on the internet. So that's something to definitely consider if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you're curious about making videos online. Okay, number 7, another truth is that you can burn out a lot. I think that creating videos takes a lot of creativity, at least to be successful, I think, to some regard, because you can't just mirror everybody's videos. Like, there's so many 30 days of cold shower videos and like all this other like random things that a lot of people do the exact same one, or this is my skincare routine. Granted, everybody has their own personality and like different flair, so they can be very interesting, but at the same time, like when you're constantly like creating new videos for your own content, it's very easy to burn out. And I think the biggest truth that maybe you need to take is that there is a work-life balance. You know, it's very easy to just constantly crank out a lot of YouTube videos or content because you're like a entrepreneur in a sense. You're working on your own business at home, and so it's not a 9 to 5. You could have a 9 to 2 a.m. if you want to. There's no one stopping you from doing this. And then there's that tiny guilt association of like rest. At least in the US, like rest is not necessarily bad, but there's always this like, oh, you know, I'm being lazy watching TV when I could be more productive. And so my biggest truth that I have for you is there's still a necessary work-life balance when it comes to creating videos online and being a content creator, because you need equal parts amount of like work, maybe a little bit more for yourself and some for your family, all these different things. You need to prioritize that as well, because if you want this as a business in the long run, you cannot burn out in your first few months or a year because of these sort of things. So definitely consider that when you're trying it. It's so easy to go, but it's so much better to have a consistent, like, okay, weekly basis if that's best for you, or every 2 weeks if that's best for you, bi-weekly, something like this, if that means that you can be more consistent in the long run instead of like a fast match like flame and then just burning out after. So definitely something to consider. Number 8, the truth about YouTube. Oh, it's really cool actually. When you start creating videos online, I think the other side is that in real life, when people recognize you from your videos or come up to you and say like, hey, like I watched your video, I think it was really cool, I really like the story that you told, it really has this like warm sensation of like, oh gee. Honestly, I don't take compliments very well. I'm really awkward and I get kind of shy, which is like completely opposite of my personality. So it's like super bizarre to me still when people are like, oh yeah, like I watched your video last night or something, it was nice, whatever. And I'm like, like, thank you. I don't know, it's so awkward for me, but I think it's also really cool because like you develop this community of other people who have a lot of questions, or it makes you feel good that your work is valued or someone took something away from it, you know, and it bettered their life in some way. And so that really is why I really like to make videos. I like to spread a little bit of joy on the side of the internet and like inspire people to just go out and live their best lives and to unapologetically fearless with who they are and what they want, because I am working on that myself. I am not perfect at all. Like, I am not a productivity channel because I like fail sometimes, or I get really lazy, or like I have ups and downs just like everybody else. And I think the biggest thing for me is to express that as well, to be unapologetically honest. You know, social media sometimes can be like the highlight reels, and I want to tell you that, like, you know, it's okay to have depressed days or something and not want to leave your bed, but then it's also okay to like work on yourself to be better, to be where you want to be, whether that's a little step today, a little step tomorrow. Like, I want to be someone that you can see as a friend on the internet if you are going through something, or if you need like a good pep talk to get you going. You know, I can do both. And so it's just really cool to me, to the YouTube side or the social media side of this, where you can have an online community of people who are like, yeah, you know, I was thinking the same thing, or like, oh, you know, that's so cool, I didn't know this existed, you know. And I live to really just share stories, whether my story or other people's stories. I really, really love this part of video making. And so maybe if you're considering starting a YouTube channel, consider why, and that may help you craft some of your videos or put like the little flame behind you, you know. And I think that's all. I think those are my main truths for right now about being a small YouTuber. If you guys like videos about this, I normally don't post like, hey, like tips for being a YouTuber video. You know, I don't know, this is kind of my first one of maybe a series, but if you like this sort of thing, let me know in the comments below. Ask me questions, and maybe that can be the theme for a next video. My biggest thing is, if you're even just considering starting a YouTube channel, to just go for it. I tell all of my friends this who are like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel too. Do it. Like, it's so easy in the sense that you can it's like creating an Instagram story. It doesn't have to be so long. It doesn't have to be highly edited at first. It can just be whatever it is you want it to be. Just prop up your camera with your phone in your room, talk about what you want to talk about. You know, maybe it's like your outfits if you're into fashion, or you want to play a song because you're a guitarist. Like, whatever it is you want to do, you know, it can be as fun as you want it to be, or as serious as you want it to be as well, you know. But my biggest thing is just to try anything once, you know, just see even if you like it, you know. And yeah, that's it. I will see you guys next time. If you guys like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. That just helps me and the algorithm and everything else. But I will see you guys next week. Bye.